Dystopia tonight. Dystopia tonight.
Hello and welcome. I don't know why I started this off like NPR, but hello and welcome to a special Dystopia tonight.
Should I touch my shirt softly or something?
Sure. Can we do ASMR? Do you have ASMR? Are you just doing this? First of all, let me just tell you, your setup right now, I guess I'm assuming you're by a window and that's a curtain.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I'm telling you right now, that plus the angle it's at with the TV in the background kind of looks like you're in the hospital.
Oh, I'm not, but
I don't want to break the fourth wall here, but yeah, no, it looks like you're in the hospital.
I'll tell the wife we have to make the room a little bit less hospital-like.
Yeah, can you?
I will.
I mean, it's not the room. I'm sure the room is fine. Are you in your living room?
No, I'm actually the bedroom. We're in a really stupid apartment that has a really bad layup. So, like, her desk is literally behind mine. She's not in there right now, but that'd be weird. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't like that you, first of all, don't disparage yourself. This is a self-talk episode now. It's not a stupid apartment. It's your shelter, your home, your fucking fortress of solitude. Come on, man.
Well, it's a fortress of everybody in the same room because it's an apartment, but
it's the fortress of I've got no damn privacy to myself. That's what this is the fortress of. The fortress of leave me the fuck alone. No, that's cool.
So,
can they hear me?
No.
Oh, good.
I am actually alone.
Well, I'm Italian, so my voice carries. No, that's my superpower. Is that if I think people can't hear me, or if I don't want them to,
Everybody does.
Everybody does. Yeah. No, but welcome to the show. I did get to read your book, first of all. Second of all, it's called Scarlett Scrapper. Let's get that out of the way.
Introducing Scarlett Scrapper.
And I'm going to what is it?
Introducing the Scarlett Scrapper.
Sorry, introducing the Scarlett Scrapper. You're right. I should be better at this. Introducing the Scarlett Scrapper. And just from the the back of the book alone, like it felt like immediately, like if I didn't know you and I was just picking it up, I would have assumed it was an older, like this book had already kind of been around, just because of I think maybe the genre which you're writing in, but also just like the way you describe the character, the way you describe the events in the book, and I guess just how you write as if we've already kind of like we should already know this radio, like you know what I mean, like it's an old so just explain a little bit about what the book's about.
Okay, so it's set in the 1940s. It's about a little boy who ends up witnessing this really bad tragedy, and his life is in danger, so he goes out seeking this guy he listens to on the radio named the Scarlett Scrapper. Mm-hmm. And he thinks this is a real hero running around the city of New York, not realizing that it's just an actor. He ends up finding the actor who then has to step up as hero. So.
Right. But again, set in the 1940s, but also like, I don't know how, I mean, you're not old. So yeah. So like, but I think again, this is kind of a testament to how you write and stuff like that. But like, it really is just kind of old time. Like it feels like this could have come from around the same time frame.
Thank you. That's definitely what I was going for.
Yeah, but like, how did you like when you started to write that kind of shit? Like, is this something you're already been a fan of? Like, because I've known you for a long time, but I don't like, and I know what you're into, and you're into some weird shit. And I mean, like, comic. Like, hold on, let's just before I bury you, let me just. You're into some fucked up shit, dude. I don't want to. You have your own island. No, you've got no, but like, I know pretty much what you're into and stuff like that. But I mean, like, is this in your wheelhouse, or were you kind of like, had you been a fan of those kind of movies and books and comic books and stuff like that? So you decided to dive into it, or what was your,
So it's kind of funny what happened. So first of all, yes, the 1940s movies, the like old 30s, 40s, those are like my favorite genre. The Bogarts, Frank Capra, Cagney, all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. And part of this was actually inspired by On the Waterfront, the bad guy side of it. So
sure.
But what happened was, this was actually back in high school. I'm still really into comics, and I found out that there was an old radio show about Superman. And I was like, well, that's awesome. And I ended up
Mhm.
finding it at the library, listening to it, and I was hooked. I started to listen to them.
Wow. How old
Like,
were you when you did that?
16,
See, that's
17.
the kind of nerd shit. This is the kind of nerd shit I kind of love, though, right? Because people don't understand, like the first of all, the birth of your nerd, like that's got to be like I'm sure you were nerdy before that, but like you had a choice when you were 17 to, most likely probably, get laid or pursue it, or listen to old timey radio shows from your local library. And I'm not saying you didn't get laid, but I'm just saying
I chose wisely, is what you're saying.
yeah, you chose to be interesting over, um, momentary joy.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you.
I think
But
that's
it
a
is
good way of looking at it, because my thought was, good Lord, I should have gotten more girls in high school, but I was too nervous. But
well, it's hard. It's
but
hard for old radio shows to
this is
translate
true.
to
Hey,
conversation, getting to
you
see
want to
people
listen to some of
naked.
the Shadow?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, it's not first date material, or it's kind of one of those things you hide until it's too late for them to leave, which I'm assuming what you did to your wife, which you're now married. But
Oh
like,
no, she's
oh,
she's cool.
she's great. Oh yeah. That's awesome.
But
Though.
you also got to remember,
Congratulations.
like, when we were in high school, being a dork, being into comics was not cool. Now it's like the
No,
coolest thing ever. It
isn't that
was,
such a kick in the dick?
it is. It sucks.
Yeah, to
And also
have that.
because
Yeah.
it's worse, because the people who are into comics now, and I don't want to be like the gatekeeper guy, but they know the movies, right? They don't know the
Yeah.
comics, the sources. And like, I have my stupid teenager students, I love my students, arguing with me about like superheroes. I'm like, you're arguing with me with knowledge from a movie, aren't you? And they're like,
You
yeah,
know what's
well,
so
read the
good?
damn source material, kid. So
I love that. No, but you know what's so good is I was going to try to like, I was like, I don't want to, because I figured we're going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm not going to do, I'm not going to mention that he has a student or he's a teacher, and you just immediately threw that. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to talk about whatever. I love my students. No, that's
Leonard
great.
Appa is a high school English teacher in New
Oh,
Jersey.
fantastic, great. Yeah, embrace it. Fuck it. I mean, they don't, they're on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it is kind of fun. Like it is just that thing of like, I remember getting picked on unmercifully for like having an X-Men fucking lunchbox, or not. But oddly enough, from people who loved Power Rangers. So that, and for some reason that
Oh,
was
that's
cool
awesome.
as shit. But my stuff was like, fucking whatever. Um, and now it's just, every hot girl gets to be like, I'm a nerd, or
Right.
whatever, which is fine. Like but on some level, I'm like, I don't know. Are you though? Are you?
I
Have
always
you,
wonder that too.
like? There's nerds that got picked on, and then there's nerds, that are obviously just like they're dabbling in it, and then they're like,
Right.
oh yeah,
Or they're
or they're
doing it
like
for
half
them.
interested in something, and they're. What's
Yeah.
crazy? Even by nerd standards, I don't think I'm that much of a nerd, because like I will go like, oh man, yeah, no, I love comic books, and somebody will be like, well, do you know issue number, page number, inked by? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, I just like I like the pictures.
Yeah.
Uh, like
Pictures are
like
pretty. Yeah.
yeah, pictures are pretty. Yeah. I really enjoy and they're like, oh, well, you don't know. It's like yeah, like certain things, like even like I bike. I like biking. I mean, I actually I shouldn't say that, but I do like I enjoy riding my bike. But I guess I don't love biking. Like, because I have met people who, when they're like, oh, cool, you ride. One, do you run a ride with our group? Which just fucking kill me instead. Like, just tell me, like, you know what I mean? Like, my worst nightmare is riding with other. That's when like, people think you're lonely, is when they're like, oh, you do this activity? Would you like to do it with 40 or 50 other people that you don't know for like an extended? I'm like, no, God, no.
Yeah.
But then the other part of it is like, I just don't like, they're like, what kind of bike and what kind of gears and what do you do? And I'm like, fuck, dude, I bring it in once a year, if that. I hope it doesn't rust, and then I get a new one. That's it. And I hope it pedals. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
Well, I like it was just the fact that you're talking about bike riding. It was like, do you ride? What? Like, that sounds so badass. Like,
I
do
know
you
it does.
ride?
Yeah, it does. Well, also it's kind of antithetical to like I'll be like, oh, I was riding the other day, and because of some like how I look and how I normally dress when I'm on stage, people do automatically assume it's a motorcycle, and it's so much worse when I have to be like, oh no, it's a 9-speed. Or 12. I think it's 12. See, I don't even know. But it is kind of embarrassing to just have that fucking one flattered that you think I'm so much cooler than that. Like I've been in like bike accidents, but I never say bicycle accidents. I'm like, oh, I fell off my bike. And like, dude, you got to wear. It's hard when you're doing like that thing. Like, was it another car? I'm like, no, I hit like a bump on and I just didn't have any balance and then skidded.
Mr. Rock, I went over
Yeah.
the wheel, man.
Yeah. I remember really getting into a bad bike accident and then like having to go to the hospital immediately after because I did like skip like a stone. Oh, it was when we were, I don't even know if you know, like when I was in high school and I was riding to the mall. I was riding my bike to the mall because my car was like busted or whatever. And on the way there, I had like, I was probably late, but I had a Real Volt CD player, MP3 player, and I'm holding it and I've got a backpack on with probably school, whatever in it. And I'm just hauling ass and I hit this tree branch and just went and like skipped along the road, just tore up everything, blood everywhere. And then when I went to the hospital, they all
did know this.
Oh man, yeah. I had like a stigmata for it, like it was on boat because I like slid. And then yeah, and then when I went to the hospital, though, they were like, "Oh, you got into a bike accident," and then they literally thought it was like whatever. And I was like, I tried to make it so I was like, "No, you don't understand though. Like I was flying," and then it was like, you know what? Fuck it, yeah, dude, I'm 19 and I got into a bike accident, 18, whatever. I'll cut all this out. But no, it was nerds. It was nerd stuff we were talking about. So anyway, yeah. So you went and listened to the Superman radio. That's how you got into it. You went to listen to Superman radio.
Yeah, the Superman radio show. And I just started listening to all of them. I was like, wow, this is actually, there's just something about the production value, the things like with even like the sound effects, and it's all fascinating to me. And then when I actually did the research for the book, which some of I put some of that stuff in there for the sound effect guys, how they did it. It was like, it's really impressive. In the studios, they had like pits of gravel to make foot sounds and like car doors that they would just slam just the frames and door frame. And so it was all kind of, it's just fascinating. And then, and it just, I still listen to them. And then actually, I don't know if you know this, on my website, they, somebody actually, how the book has the radio scripts. I actually wrote out the full scripts and somebody actually produced them. So they sound like old radio shows. So you could actually listen to the show, The Adventures of the Scarlett Scrapper.
That's pretty fucking great. And now how long did that thing take you?
The book or the scripts?
No, the scripts.
The scripts weren't really that long because I wrote the excerpts first.
Oh, okay.
What you see in the book is actually what I wrote first. And I was like, I want to expand these into full episodes. And then that's
very cool.
Yeah. So
is that something you thought of like after the fact? Because that's one of those things where like I think the creative process, some people think it's linear for the most time, but you could literally be like knee deep into a project, come up with an idea that you can't ignore, and then have to go, I gotta go, like I want to be done, but I thought of a thing and now I have to go back and but you had those first.
In this instance, yeah, I had the part of the original idea for this story. The book was actually to have the scripts. I thought that'd be a fun way to, because the book's broken up into episodes as well. Instead of like, people do part 1 of your book, part 2. Mine is episode 1, episode 2, even though it's, prose still.
Sure.
Prose novel. So.
Were the sound effects dudes you were talking about too before, because I love that kind of like the sound effect stuff is always kind of interesting to me, because I was just listening to oh my god, I think it's the Phil, I think it's like was it Calling It? No, it was The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay.
And it's like that la la la, like that sound. I
think so. Maybe.
It's like the big sound in the fucking song that's like right before the la la, like it's like a almost well, it sounds like a cannon being fired basically.
Okay.
But the dude who did the he wanted a particular sound that he had heard in his head for it. Didn't want it to be a drum, didn't want it to be all this other shit. And they literally, what did he got like I guess like some kind of metal sheet or whatever, and then did it next to an open elevator shaft and banged it, and then it reverberated through it, and they were like, awesome. That's fucking it. And they said literally when they did it, it sounded like cannon fire. and that's what they used in the thing. But that always fascinates me too, just about those kind of things where those dudes were kind of like, what would it sound? How do we make a clopping sound for? How do we make this kind of shit for whatever? And like, and then putting it to get like, I mean, I guess in the moment if that's what you're into, and that's what you're getting paid for, I guess you're paid to think of that kind of shit. But to the outsider, you are just kind of like, man, oh fuck, I didn't know they.
Well, it's like with Star Wars, the blaster fire was, if I remember correctly,
real blaster fire.
Yes, exactly. They actually built.
Don't you ruin this for me?
They actually used like a wrench or something on the metal wire, like those thick metal cables, that on a phone pole, and so that would be the.
Fuck! I didn't know that. See, that's fucking awesome.
And like Chewbacca is like part lion, part some other, I think part dog or something like that. His
yeah, that's awesome. So. And then his what made you decide to do it from the point of view of a kid who's doing who's experienced some trauma, seeking this guy's help? Because that's a unique take, I think, for that kind of story.
Originally, it wasn't going to be that way. It was going to actually be where it was. My initial thought was honestly like Lone Wolf and Cub.
Okay.
Where obviously he's not a samurai or anything or a Ronin, but that'd be interesting too. But and then at some point as I was writing it just kind of Thomas came to me, and I was just thinking, like, one of the things I wanted to do with this book was make it so it's not just your typical action book. I wanted to have a very literary tone to it as well, and I think I nailed it. So
no,
I wanted
did.
to be
I'm here to tell you
about the characters
we all discussed
more than the action.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody? Yeah, you're welcome. No, we had a meeting. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. But maybe I could get the notes or the times at some point. The minutes. That's what I was going for.
The minute. Yeah, no, I got it.
So yeah, and then I was like, because I wanted Frank, the main character, to feel very real, and I wanted him to not just be, I'm the superhero, I wanted him to be human.
He is.
And I was like, Thomas needs to be the same. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, also I do like that he, obviously winds up helping this kid, but I do like the idea that he's just a regular dude, but still feels somewhat the obligation of a main character to me is always interesting, especially when they have to do the right thing. And now they know, like, it's, what it is? It's almost like, have you ever seen The Burbs?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks's frustration with having to face the responsibility that his neighbors might be doing something awful throughout that whole thing is so relatable. Like, he doesn't want it, so he ignores it for the most part, like the whole time. Not that the characters act the same way, but I do like any kind of character that you can kind of assume that they're like, fuck. Like,
and that's what I wanted to do with Hodge too. Like, I wanted him to almost be unlikable at the start. Yes. Like when you first meet Hodge, you're like, this guy's kind of a dick,
right?
And then
which you would assume from what I mean, like a guy who, like, anytime there's a guy who plays a hero, in a thing, you're always and then in real life the scene cuts, it's over, and they go back to their trailer. You're always kind of like, which guy are they? Are they the fuck this kid shit, I don't want to deal with the fan, whatever, or are they Tim Allen's character in Galaxy Quest, who cannot get enough of? He thinks he's that guy, and the adulation. Yeah.
So like part of it was I wanted this juxtaposition of where Thomas is like, Scarlett Scrapper is the greatest thing ever, and then Frank Hodge is like, I hate this freaking character.
That's great. I think that juxtaposition is fucking awesome. It's kind of like I always wanted to do a movie about. I was just talking to my friend about this the other day, and I copyrighted it just in case. Not that it matters anymore. My AI is taking over everything. Sorry, I'm having a side by myself. Just give me a minute. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like I always thought it would be, because I love Bruce Willis and I love Die Hard, and I love that it's a Christmas movie. What I love even more is his, for some reason, complete dismissal of it as a Christmas movie. And I thought it'd be really funny if there was a guy who, loves a particular action movie and loves that as a Christmas movie, and puts this thing together. He's like a PR dude for this actor. Unbeknownst to him, though, the guy hates the idea that it's a Christmas movie, but he's psyched. He's going on this little tour with him. He's got to take him to places to promote the movie. The actor's only doing it because he's out of cash, and for some reason people have latched on to this. So he picks him up and he's really excited and he's into it, and the other guy fucking hates it. And he's like, "This is not a Christmas movie," and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you cannot say that kind of shit on the tour, like whatever. And then what happens is, while they're at one of their stops, after he's already botched a bunch of interviews, they wind up in a similar scenario at Christmas as it is in the movie. So everyone's like, dude, fucking new, you know what I mean? Like, so they're kind of in a bad spot. I don't know what the situation is necessarily yet, but I just thought it'd be hilarious that there's this fucking, tension, because he hates the fact that everybody thinks it's a Christmas movie, and that's the only reason why people like it and watch it now.
Okay.
And that's how he has to make money. Yeah, thanks. And there's another guy who is just like, yeah,
Now,
no, of course it is.
With
If you fucking...
that being said, though, Die Hard is definitely not a Christmas movie.
Right. Thank you. Exactly.
No. I hate that this time of year we have to argue with people all the time about it. Because if you're going to put Die Hard, then you got to put Lethal Weapon, you got to put First Blood, you got to put
Iron Man 3. Fucking God. I mean, here's the thing. I think if your plot revolves around Christmas, 100%, it's a Christmas movie.
Right.
If you shoot anything with the December setting, there's lights and somebody says Merry Christmas, but if they say Merry Christmas or mention Christmas more than 3 times, Christmas movie. I had all these rules set up where I was just like, because people can mention Christmas in a movie like as it's coming up, and then it's not a Christmas or whatever. But if it's like if it's more than 3 times, that's a central theme. That's somebody's thinking about it in that fucking movie. Sorry, that's a Christmas movie.
So,
and you wouldn't have been there.
My wife and I literally had this conversation the other day. I think it was last night, actually. And she said, well, then we can just call Die Hard a Western, too, because it says Yippee-ki-yay. So there we go.
There you go. Exactly. Fucking Western, Christmas movie, action movie. Fucking,
Man, Bruce Willis should be making more money on that.
He should be, he wouldn't know it now, but, he'd still, now it doesn't matter.
But his family should be making more money on that.
Oh, God, yeah. The other thing, too, is he wouldn't have been there had it not been for Christmas. There was no reason for him to be in LA at the fucking, plaza. So anyway, glad we solved that. Yeah. There should be a thing on Netflix.
What other problems can we solve?
What'd you say?
I said, what other problems can we solve?
Oh,
let's knock them out.
You want to start with mine or yours? Which one? No, like, I wish Netflix had playlists, because by now, like, we're getting robbed as it is. Just give us the ability to make like shit so we can share it with our friends and be like, this is the movies I'm watching, and then whatever. Cool. Right? But at least it would help us build our own categories too, right? Like, I would love to just have an entire row of not Christmas movies, and then just have that in there where it's like, oh yeah, no, of course, I didn't even think of that one.
I'd like that.
Thank you. I'd like it too. We'll tell Ted to do it after he buys Warner Brothers and destroys that. Yeah. So now, so you've been going on book tours and shit for this kind of thing. Now, how has that been? Because I know you're not a people person, right? You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm watching you do all this stuff, and I'm also like, this must be.
It's torture. I'm not gonna. It's a lot of fun, but it's It's exhausting because I'm not one to. It's funny. I'm a teacher, so I literally talk for a living to kids who are not interested in anything. So it kind of actually lends itself to this as I'm sitting in Barnes and Noble, like, buy my book, please. So it's been a lot of fun. I've gotten better at it as they've gone. The first one I was very quiet, but it was also like all my friends and family showed up, so that was kind of cool.
Isn't that always
yeah. And then like the second one was just me, and it was I still ended up selling a pretty good deal. So I've gotten better at it, and it's really just putting that mask on, I guess. It's more than anything.
Yeah.
So like, or I mean, obviously I'm not a performer like you, but Mr. High Class over here.
Yeah.
But like the stuff I did in high school, you get up on stage and like kind of everything blacks out for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it's like there. Like, these people are standing in front of me and I'm really seeing like shapes more than I'm seeing people as I'm blathering on and with the pasted on smile. And
sure. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And it's your first book too. So it's also like, you're you're as new to them as they are to you.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
it's really
like,
like pulling them to me. But the more
yeah.
like I have to really work for it. So
Well, you're also, yeah, you do, and you're also building the relationship too, because now it's like you want these people to come back, but they,
yeah,
and so you're appreciative that they're there, but you're trying to give your whole personality, and you're not trying to, So yeah, it's hard when you first start out doing that kind of book thing.
yeah, it's scary.
Yeah,
And also because again, like you just said, like it's not like they know, like I'm nobody. Who am I?
right,
So they see a guy at the table and they make eye contact, so they more or less pity come over to me,
sure,
which I recognize, and I definitely use it to my advantage.
yeah.
Um,
You should,
but also, like, and that's also where the teaching thing kind of comes in too, because I'm like, oh, my kids did this artwork for me because I have actually I have them right here. Like one of my students did the art here
that is so great.
for my bookmarks. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
gonna he's gonna actually make me draw me comic strips. I wrote them the scripts for them, so I
Very
can put
cool.
those away. And then another student, so I have it all on my desk here,
Nice.
did this, which is actually the shirt I'm wearing as well.
Oh,
So
that's
it's a
beautiful.
yeah, it's a pulp, and I actually have shirts too.
It's great.
Like
I'll get
I
one.
had shirts made up, so it's like a
Nice.
pulp poster for
Yeah,
the radio show.
that's fantastic.
So that I think gets a little bit of a sympathy buy too.
Yeah.
So
Does
because I give
anybody
that
like
away.
mistake you for Jeremy Piven and then
What was
come
that?
over? I said, does anybody mistake you for Jeremy Piven and then come over? They're like,
No,
sir.
do I look like Jeremy Piven? This is
No.
the dude from Entourage, right?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
just I think like, yeah, I mean, it's a compliment because he's a good looking dude.
Oh,
I'm just saying like, it's just interesting. Like I was like, oh, who does he look like to me right now? And I'm like, I think a more distinguished with the glasses, Piven. I think get away with it.
all right. I mean, I'll take it.
What
It's
does
better than my students always say I look like Murr from Impractical Jokers, which is so off brand, and it's only because I'm bald and I sometimes wear glasses.
that's
That's
a
pretty
fucking
much the
yeah.
extent of the familiarity.
I
So,
gotta get no. I don't like that. Tell them I said no.
well, now I have an actual picture of me with Murr. Like I met him at Barnes and Noble, so I could be like, look,
that's sick.
completely different. So,
Oh wow, nice. Oh, good job.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, no. So how good? I mean, this is obviously something you've been working on for a while. Are you good at leaving stuff behind? Like it's done. You know what I mean? Like for you, you're out there, you're promoting it. Obviously, there's going to be a paperback and all the other stuff eventually too. But are you good at walking away from a project and not having to worry about like, oh man, I thought of this, I thought of that, I want to re-edit this, I want to go back and add that, or yeah.
I think I'm too good at walking away from projects because a lot of times, like I'm like I'll finish it and I'm like I don't want to go back and edit it. It's good, even though I know it's not. And I always have so many other ideas that come to me that I want to actually jump right into and I get excited for. So I'm actually too good at walking away. But this book is probably the one that I've stuck with the longest because the version that you have is not the first version I wrote.
Oh, that's right.
I started this book over from word one.
Right.
At some point. So
which is insane to me, by the way, because I don't know how you had the stamina to start it over again. Like what happened there?
Well, this is actually kind of a funny story. So David Morrell, who is the creator of Rambo, First Blood, I met him like probably 2010 and we became, I say we're friends. I'm a fan, but I say we're friends. A little bit, just a smidge. But he and I met up a lot and we hung out a lot over the years. Just not like a lot, but whenever he was in New York for Thriller Fest, I'd always go and I'd see him and we'd hang out for a little bit. And so I always considered him like a friend and unofficial mentor. And he was nice enough to read that old iteration that I told you about.
Sure.
And he read it and basically he said, the story's broken. It's never going to be published. This is not good. And I, after crying for a week under a desk, and saying I'm never going to write again, it actually clicked in. Well, if it's not good, then clearly, obviously, this man who's been a best-selling novelist for close to 30 years at that point knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
And then I ended up scrapping it.
Scarlett Scrapper it.
Let
me. I don't even fucking laugh at that. When, what? I mean, he didn't just say. I'm assuming he didn't just say it's not good. Did he give?
No,
you
he gave me some actual critiques.
So let me ask you this then. What was the? I mean, I don't know if you want to go into what it was exactly, but this shit always fascinates me too because, even when you're reading a book about somebody's life or how they got from one thing to the other, they do kind of tend to skip over details a young writer or actor or whomever can use. So it wasn't just like somebody said this wasn't good and you went back and did it over again. I'm assuming, like you said, he had some. What was it about it that he didn't like that you made you go, fuck it, I'm gonna do the whole thing over again? And how did you not fall into those same traps again?
So basically, the main thing that he said was that the descriptions were flat. That was his first
Of the characters,
character settings. He said it didn't feel like it was in the 1940s and so on. And
so do you
and I
find
thought
that,
I did a good.
yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you too, but I have to, like, if I don't ask these questions, but you're saying they were flat and whatever. Do you find that when you're, because this used to happen to me too, and I have to catch myself every once in a while, where because I'm writing so much in my mind before I even get it down onto paper, when I get it down on a paper, I'm skipping over stuff because I'm like, oh, I've already, they know this. I've already explained this. I explained it to
I've
me.
definitely done that.
Yeah. So is it the same kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so, but I think for my stuff, it was more like the descriptions were weak, where it wasn't like maybe immersive enough, where like I wasn't. Well, one of his things, he has this great book called The Successful Novelist. It's the best book about writing I've ever read.
Oh,
and
even better than Vonnegut's?
I don't think I've ever. He has a book on writing. I've never read it.
He does. I will loan it to you. It is a fascinating book, and give me that one, and I'll read yours.
Sure thing. So in this book, one of his, and this seems so obvious after you hear it, and you're probably like, well, duh, Len, but you're supposed to use a different sense for each scene, like not a different, like it shouldn't just be visual. And I was writing a lot of visual because I feel like that's how my mind works. Yeah. Everything in my mind is like a movie. So, but I wasn't getting like, he bit into an apple. Now we get this idea of an apple, and everybody knows what an apple tastes like and what it sounds like. So like the different senses to make it more real, or even making like the main villain, Salazar. I opened the book with him literally just rolling up the cuffs of his sleeves and like talking threateningly. And right. I remember this would actually hurt me when when I read this. His comment was like, he's rolling up his sleeves. Ooh. And I was just like, oh. I was like, damn. And then you get these things thrown at you. And this is why, like, there's writers are always like, or new writers tend to be so scared of criticism. And this is why I'm like, no, even the worst criticism is going to make you see. And that was it. And so after I cried for a little bit, I realized like, no, this man, he's not trying to hurt me. He's actually helping me. And he did. And now I have the book published. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then now, did you, when you finished it again, did you send it back in for more critique, or did you know?
So this is awesome. No, I didn't send it to him as a critique. I figured I squandered that chance.
First chance.
Right. One and only.
Interesting.
But what I did do was I sent him a copy of the book with a note explaining how he helped me and things like that.
Oh.
And he wrote me a really nice email, and he literally just posted about the book on his Twitter and Facebook.
That is a beautiful, great story. I love that.
Yeah. So
full circle. Very, very cool. Do you find that most writers, because I know you teach English.
I do.
I'm assuming you see some potential in some of your students. Are you as openly critical with them in the same way you were before you got the critique for your book, or has that changed the way you critique your students' writing? You know what I mean? Like, how does, because it's got to flow into your teaching style a little bit.
Well, with the good thing with me as a teacher and how I work is I'm very, if you didn't pick up on this, John, I'm sarcastic.
Sure.
Yeah,
well, what made me think of it is the ooh rolling up sleeves comment. I'm like, well, that's a Lenny comment.
So I'm very sarcastic. So I make, if I critique them, and I will always be honest with them, and I tell them that right from the start. I'm like, guys, look, I'm a writer. I love writing. So when we do writing, I'm going to tell you how it is. I go, I'll tease you a little. You're allowed to tease me right back if you want, but I'm going to be honest. So we have that type of rapport where I think, it's mutual teasing. Like, I don't care. I even give them some chat. I go, I'm bald if you want to start there. I go, I love comic books, and I give them all sorts of suggestions to help them
Right.
And I think they appreciate that. So
Yeah, no, that's great. So then back to the him saying it was, flatten your process and all that other stuff and going through it and working through your mistakes. Are you when you say you started it from scratch again, are you like literally like are you referencing the old material? Wow, you just fucking went from
I completely redid everything, the structure, how it was written, how I formatted it. So in
wow.
and actually I borrowed this from Richard Stark. I don't know if you ever heard of the Parker novels.
No.
Actually, Mark Wahlberg just did a movie called Play Dirty on Amazon, and that's based on the Parker
Oh,
character.
yeah, I know that
So
movie.
the character is much better in the books. So what he does in his Parker books, and he's got like 24 of them, I think. He's passed away at this point. But
Yeah.
it's Richard Stark. He does part one and part two are in the perspective of Parker and his crew getting a robbery together. And then part three goes into the bad guy's point of view.
Right.
So like people we haven't really met yet. They've been people maybe talked about but never really seen.
Okay.
And then it goes into the last one, part four, it goes right back into Parker and the main characters. And I was like, well, that's really kind of brilliant. I wonder if I could do that. And I ended up doing it for this, where part one and part two are through Thomas and Frank. And then part three is through the villain and the love interest. And part four, we're back to Thomas and Frank. And again, I think it worked well for this book because of that literary side of it. Now we're getting the villain. We've had him as his boogeyman in the background the whole time. Right. Now we see him for who he is. We see him for, while yes, he's not redeemable, we see more motivation of him and what his deal is, what caused these things to happen.
Right. That's fucking awesome. So what, in your mind, do you think is the next phase in this thing? Is it done to you? Do you want to option it for a series? Do you want, like, have you been thinking about it, or are you just kind of coasting on the fact that, hey man, this is fucking my first book, it's done, I'm out there? You know what I mean? Like, are you anxious to get back out and write something else?
Well, the second book is written. I finished it over the summer.
You fucking workaholic.
It's called Reintroducing the Scarlett Scrapper. And it's set 25 years later.
Nice.
So
he's got crippling depression. Right. The economy is yeah.
So now we're in the 70s. So I think 60s. So it's like free love.
Yeah, I was gonna say, free. That's pretty great.
So and then, but what I see with this, and this is what I love about this story, and probably why it's never really left me. This character can go into. I'd love to see it as a limited series. I'd love to see season 1 being the first book, season 2 being the second book, season 3 being the third book, which hasn't been written yet. I know, right? Don't tell anybody. And then, but it can also go outside of this character. We can go into the actual character of the Scrapper, the fictional character within this fictional world. That could be a comic of its own. It doesn't have to be Frank Hodge. It could be literally adventures of the Scarlett Scrapper character.
Right.
And it can go in so many different directions. And that's what I think is kind of really cool about it.
Yeah.
So
would you want to be hands-on with it?
Oh, definitely. I'd be cool if somebody else took the reins, I think, maybe, as long as I get maybe, a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that's the fuck.
But no, I mean, I would like writing them. Like, I'd love to write the comics for it and things like that. So
absolutely. Oh, that's great, man. I hope it works out with it that way. For as long as I've known you, you want to be a writer and you've been into movies and stuff like that too. But was that like, how old were you when you knew that? Like, how did you come about?
I realized I wanted to be a writer. There's this old show, and so far only my wife and I are the ones that know it. I haven't met anybody else. It's called Ghostwriter.
Oh my God, a fucking court. Are you kidding me?
Yes. Okay, excellent. Good.
Yeah.
So now we're 3. There's 3 of us now.
Yeah.
So there's a character in that show who was a writer, and I remember he told this story about like the North Wind or something, and there's people being lost in it, and I was just like, I love that.
Yeah.
I want to do that. And that's where my interest started. Now I was very lazy about it until probably late high school, but that's where it actually started.
Yeah. No, I always used to say the Dick Van Dyke Show made me want to pretend to be a writer. And I was like, that looks like a fucking blast. And I don't actually,
gotta have a lot of Ottomans around though.
Oh God, no! Just the man's only weakness is ottoman. That's why he's lived to be 100. No ottomans in his house. There's like I just imagine there's an ottoman out there like I'll get you, Dick. Just
You're
one
my
day.
dick.
No, that's fucking awesome. I loved that show as a kid, and I feel the same way though. I don't think a lot of people remember it. But it was a great fucking show. And then there was oh my God, who was in that from 10 Things I Hate About You? I can't think of her name now.
Uh, Julia, not Julia Stiles. No, Julia
No,
Stiles.
Julia Stiles, yeah. And she was like a hacker. And she was like, like she played like this because hacking was like a cool thing, and she had to
Yeah,
like get into but she was considered like a weirdo and a nerd. And then it was like they
yeah,
needed her to like get into the school newspaper or some shit. I don't fucking know. I used to watch, but that show was great.
yeah. I like that one.
It was a good show. No, that's cool. You said something about being late. I think like do you feel like creatives are inherently lazy until they find because obviously you're not lazy. You wrote a fucking book. You wrote the second one, but what did it take for you to just finally sit down and focus and do it? Because I guarantee you've got we all have a little bit of ADHD or something.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel most of the time I mean I could be lazy when it comes to writing, definitely. But I think the second book I started like last December and I just finished it in August. But that's not normal for me. That was pretty good go time. And honestly, that one I started over too. Not I didn't have the full thing done. I had like 20,000 words down, and it just wasn't working. So I was just like, all right, I got to start fresh, and I started over, and then it all clicked into place. Everything worked.
Wow.
So it depends on the project and how excited I am for it. Like I'm working on this one right now that if I had the time to write all the time, it'd be done because I love where it's going. I love what it is.
Another book.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So it's one that I want to have done at least a draft of before May or by May because I'm going to this place it's Thriller Fest. It's called. It's in New York City, and it's with the International Thriller Writers because now I'm an official member since I wrote a thriller.
Fuck yeah.
I know, and also that's the place where I kept meeting David Morella in New York.
Sure, stalking, but meeting is
right. Right. Sorry,
Yeah,
excuse me. Stalking him.
I mean, I don't know.
So, but with that, they have this thing called Pitch Fest. So, you pitch like your stories to agents and see if they'd want to pick it up. So,
Sure.
I'm hoping to get that first draft.
Yeah.
Because mostly, like, I went with a small press for this book because nobody's biting agent wise. So, I'm hoping it's going to be that kind of step in the door.
I can introduce you to mine.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually absolutely will. I got a literary agent, I don't know, 6 months ago now or something like that. But we've been going back and forth because they want to do something with the podcast and a book. And I had written the book proposal about it and all this other shit, and everything is, she really likes it. So, but the thing about book proposals on that like there's like I had no problem writing what the proposal of the book was going to be, and then it was like, I mean, the form they give you is fucking ridiculous. It's super goddamn long, and it's like homework, which we love, but I was also like, fuck it, I want to get money and I want this thing to get done, but it's like, what's your plan? Like for the book proposal part was fine. That was fun because I was like, okay, what do I want this to be? How do I want it to be different from those, similar to the books that I enjoy with interviews in them, but a little bit of a twist because it's Dystopia tonight, yada yada. And then the rest of it was just like, why do people need this book, and how are you going to help sell it, and how are you going to help promote it, and what do you have to, and what's your strategy going to be, and yada yada. Did all that, got all that done, and they're like, great, now they want to see a full table of contents and some excerpts from the book. And it was kind of one of those things where I was like, don't have either. And then I got really fucking annoyed, where I did that thing probably you and I did when we were separate, but also in our high school ages where we were like, well, fuck you. You know what I mean? Where you're like, I'm not doing that shit. I just showed you I could do it, But then eventually just did it anyway because I was like, let's just settle down and do it with the full intention in my head of obviously things are going to change, because I literally it made no fucking sense to me where I was like, well, we don't even have anything yet. This is now free work from me, which is annoying. But there is so much, even when you have an agent for anything now. Like I'm so like what I'm getting at is I'm glad you self published or distributed this or whatever?
It's not self. It is through a small press. It's a small
Sure,
indie press, like so.
but
But
you
yeah.
kind of represented yourself,
Oh
which I
God.
think
Well,
is
yeah. Even
yeah,
as in the traditional big publishers, you have to. That's authors have to do that now, especially first time authors.
right.
It's all
Well,
about
yeah.
marketing yourself now, which is
Mhm.
obnoxious. But
I was gonna say that's the fucking shit that I wish, man, if just need to be a little bit bigger. And I swear to God, I would go on a speaking tour against those people. Like I would find out where agents, bookers, man, like wherever the fuck they were going, and then I'd be like, and if you want to hear the opposing view of every piece of shit they just fed you, then you come see me. Because
there
I've
you go.
seen it done at Comedy Fest. I've seen it done all this other crap, and I'm like watching, these agents and managers just spin bullshit. And I'm like, yeah, they just don't want to work anymore. Like the
It's
amount of times
so
I've
bad.
like somebody's been like, especially, before I got mine, where they were like, oh, he's hysterical. He's so funny. He's fantastic. He's great. And then they're like, oh, well, we can't take him on. And it's like, oh, I just don't have anything that's going to make you money immediately. And you don't have to do shit for it because they really
Yeah.
don't. Like to me, it's like once we're all making money, what do we need? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's so much that I discovered I could do on my own. Um, you know, where it's like, well, yeah, eventually if it becomes way too big, then you just wind up having to hire people who can handle shit. But in the meantime, all these people that are like, yeah, we can do this for you, we can get you this, we can get you that. And then it's like, yeah, I think I can do most of that shit myself for now. Like I don't,
Yeah.
like PR people will be like, oh my God, for just the low cost of $5,000 a month, we can email outlets for you. And I'm like, I can kind of do that too. And yeah, I can make a fake email address and say I'm from a PR. Like nobody's, everybody's busy. Nobody's really looking
Yeah.
into this shit. And then if it's good, they get it. And if it's not, it's not. Like my thing is like, I'm paying you $5,000. You better have a contact at Rolling Stone. Like to
Right.
me, you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
the whole point. Like shouldn't you have a relationship? But they don't have to have that anymore. Like nobody
Yeah.
has
And
to have it.
that's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, and that's the other thing. Like, I was looking at this agent's website the other day for like to submit to them, and it's like if you have less than 300 followers or like I don't know, I think the number's even higher on like social media. Then sorry, it's just like, but why? Like,
Yeah.
I get you want people to have a platform to start with, but
Right.
that's kind of I don't know. It just
And
seems
the thing about that kind of shit too is the illusion that they put out that it's somehow a beast even they can't control. Like I watched that dude on Instagram, Moseri, whatever the fuck his last name is, who runs Instagram. He's like, I don't know what he is on Instagram, but he's the one who's always speaking like on the Instagram videos, like we've got a new update. He'll literally post shit and he's like, so what we figured out is that the algorithm likes this, and this is what you need to start doing because we're getting rid of hashtags and the algorithm won't look at. And I'm like, why are you speaking as if you're not in full fucking control of how you
the
let us
algorithm.
monetize the platform? Because like we're like to idiots watching it's like, oh, this guy's really giving us tips on how to but no, I'm like, he's making it. It's like
Yeah.
a fireman, constantly being like, oh, like I'm setting your living room on fire, but if you want to figure out how to put it out, you
Right.
don't put it
Exactly.
out. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
very
it's a
backwards.
bummer. It's a real bummer. I'm like, how are you gonna help you? I'm trying. How are you gonna help me?
Well, you've been slumming with like Jay Leno. Now you got me on here, so
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Jay's an
it's,
interesting guy. He does say a lot of stupid shit, which is just hard for me to reconcile half the time when he's like, I don't understand why people are so political. It's like, well, close to a billionaire comic. I don't know. Like he just came out recently and he was like, since I stopped doing political material in my act, ticket sales went up. And I'm like, that's the dumbest fucking. First of all, I was there. We were there together in Atlantic City. There's nothing like it's like Tonight Show jokes, Clinton, and then some Trump shit, and then whatever for over an hour. You know what I mean? Not like there's like he does over an hour, but the amount of like political materials in there is like 5%. So like, I'm just like, oh, God, fucking suck a dick, dude. You're not doing anything. I'll cut that out, but you're not doing. In case you want to come back or donate something. No, I'm kidding. But like, it is infuriating. Where I'm just kind of like, but I'm also tired of listening to, millionaires on TV talk about shit in general. Anyway, like I love Colbert and I love Kimmel and stuff like that. But then we were getting booted off the air, and I was like, I think you guys are going to be fine. I don't know how concerned they were like asking comedians to sign this petition, and I did, obviously, because they ask. I'm like, it's going to take me 2 seconds if I could sign it. But then I was also like, oh, is he going to thank us all? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't pretend like, okay, it was signed and it got posted around, and I fucking posted and all this other crap. But it is such a fucking soft hand job because you're like, it really. What he's not gonna give it, like he didn't mention any, you know what I mean, like he mentioned all his famous friends who said something, except for Bill Maher. Apparently he was pissed about it. But I'm like, all us other like mid-level, we're all kind of, I was like, why am I signing that? All right, I'll sign it, but am I getting, is he gonna give a fuck? Am I gonna be on his show? Is he gonna pick up the phone? No.
That'd be cool if he did, but
it'd be really great. And who knows, maybe he will. I don't know. But I am you just listen to these guys talk all the time about anything in particular, and I'm just like, it's just people with money making more money and talking about shit while the rest of us are struggling, writing our own books, and people are going, yeah, it could work.
Well, that's actually, now that you say that, that's what kills me too. Like every celebrity has a book now because they're writing with somebody else. Like,
yes,
good Lord.
No, I know. And every celebrity has, like, that's the other thing too, is like, I've been watching, we were talking about Instagram and shit like that, and the follower count and all the stuff you need to have. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've only ever seen the bar move, like, where they're like, you need to have 50K followers. And then I got like 50K followers, and they were like, you need to have 100K followers. And then you get 100, and then like, you need to have 150. And I'm like, do you, like, what the fuck? When is it going to, but also now you're competing with like nobody ever retires or goes away. So like, it's like the Simpsons. I kind of wish the Simpsons would stop, because wouldn't that make room for more animated
stuff too?
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's weird. Like that generation holds on to shit in a way that I've never, like, they don't go away or make room. They just don't die. Or you have to wait. It's like literally almost every position in Hollywood is like a Supreme Court position where this actor will remain, I don't begrudge them for working, but they will consume, podcasts are for people like me and the other one, not like fucking, Amy Poehler's got one out. Fucking great. And the worst part is that you see all the same actors go on all the same fucking shows with the same 10 stories.
Yeah.
So, and they're all trying to get, everyone is trying to get something. I'm sure they're in the backstage going, you got to say something about Paul Dano. Anything. Just I fuck that guy and say something about Paul Dano. And then, Tarantino's like, well, I'll do it. I mean, I'm sure he hates him generally, but like, it is kind of weird. Like, they just have to say the next incendiary thing because it needs to go viral, and you can't have the same 10 stories.
And now that's all people are talking about. And then the other thing is, like, even the other celebrities are falling into it too, though. Because I saw John Cusack who's like, I like Paul Dano.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I know. And everybody's like, it's like celebrities came to Paul Dano's defense. I think Paul's fine. I wish Tarantino hated me. Like, and I'm sure he would, but like, you know what I mean? So people
should send him a video.
Oh, actually, you know what? If he did, people would be like, yeah, fuck Poveromo. Tarantino's got a point for a change. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it is kind of fucking annoying to see all that. And like, you know how many times I've heard David Spade's story about like, oh, when he pissed Eddie Murphy off or doing the thing. Like, it's on every other one, that fucking circle jerk of like podcast bros.
Sure, wrote about it in his book too.
Yeah, wrote about it in his book, wrote about, whatever, talked about it on stage, talked about it on the news, talked about it on, that Sports Dudes podcast, Tom Segura's podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast, like his, like, and I'm just like, fucking hell. Like, if you're a comedy fan and you do consume this shit, you're, it's just every, I don't know. It's fucking weird. And then I got to do it and I look like an asshole. Like, how many times I heard Leno tell that fucking Rodney story? I've seen him do it a million times. And they're like, you ever hear the Rodney Dangerfield story when I killed him, making him laugh in the hospital? I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, no. for a story about Rodney? And I say that hoping when I post it, it'll go viral and make me a bunch of. It's all right.
What I like about your Jay Leno impression, it was very Mike Tyson as well. It's kind of interchangeable.
Oh, did you hear the one about the ear I chewed off on Saturday? I didn't do the head bobble. It's the head bobble that separates me from Mike Tyson. Oh, did you hear about the?
Yep. Now I see Jay. I got
Nice Jay Leno. Jay Leno sounds like somebody did a joke about Leno sounding like a fly, where it's like, Jay Leno the fly. I'll cut that out too. Anyway, we have 5 minutes left. Is there anything in this book as you were writing that you discovered about the character and yourself that you didn't know before you went into it?
I don't think so.
So
Not about
nothing.
myself. What was that?
I said, so you learned nothing.
I learned nothing.
No.
I think there's something for me with Frank Hodge, the main character. There's something about him that he's held on to me since I wrote him, since he first kind of came to me. And like even in the second book, like he was supposed to take a very, very background place, and he's just like, screw that noise, man. I'm the star here. And he did. He took over. So great. It's again, it's a split between him and Thomas. That's kind of it's a minor spoiler for anybody if they haven't read the book, but clearly the hero's going to live. That's how books work. That's a story, folks. So,
God, is this how you teach your students? Kids, listen, this is how it works.
This is not life. It's fiction.
Right.
I mean, I threatened to kill a few characters, but my wife yells at me when I do. So I'm not allowed to, apparently. But so I think with me, like, it was like
at this point to kill a character. Too many people do it.
Well, the thing was, I was just like, well, something bad's got to happen to somebody, right? And so obviously, yeah. Anyway, so
Lenny, that's why you have red shirts.
There's just something about him, and I don't know. I mean, you've read him now. I don't know if you feel this way, but there's something just very charming.
Yeah,
and just special there, and he's held on to me.
There's a curmudgeonly likability about him in the same way that you respect and like a grizzled cop, a father figure. You know what I mean? Where you're like almost like like a John C. McGinley and you know what I mean? Where you're like, this guy is obviously, but he's he's a good dude. So you're just
right.
Like,
there's a good heart there.
Yeah.
So and that's what's kind of held on to me. And plus, I don't know, he's got the kind of old class kind of charm and sarcasm that maybe that's what I mean, I put a lot of sarcasm into Frank, which obviously
you did, but that's what reminds me of you.
So,
yeah.
So what I think I was most impressed about in myself, thank you, is actually how I wrote Mary. I think I did, and I've been told this as well, that I wrote a very good female character, which I was happy with, because I always worry when I write anybody that's not a white male, because I'm like, can I? So I was like, who am I going to piss off with this one now? But apparently I wrote Mary very realistically. And apparently I'm a feminist. I did not know this.
Very nice.
One of my teacher friends said, well, you must be a feminist. I was like, well, I never really thought about it, but because of how I wrote Mary.
I like the idea that he said that because you wrote a female character. Oh, you put a lady in your book, did you?
Maybe.
In the 40s? Unheard of.
Oh, well, thunk it, right.
Yeah.
And she's not a prostitute.
Yeah. The characters that you had in this, are you drawing from anybody in particular?
Looks wise, I always picture Errol Flynn as Hodge.
Oh,
yeah. Thomas, not really. Mary can be any number of 40s women. And then same thing with I can't think of his name. The guy who played Nicely in Guys and Dolls, the movie, and I can't think of his real name, but that's who I picture for Jimmy.
Yeah, I can't think of
people who are listening, like, what the hell is Guys and Dolls? Who the hell? What's a Nicely?
I'll make them Google.
Yeah, there we go. And then Salazar, just again, actually for Salazar, I pictured I can't think of the guy from The Godfather, Sollozzo.
Oh yeah.
So,
yes. Yeah, no, that's great. Oh, those are good.
Yeah. So
Now I'm going to ask you the last 3 questions that I ask every guest on the show. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
First question, if you can go back in time and talk to your younger self, what piece of advice would you give yourself that would help you today?
This is gonna be so boring. But to actually stay in school when actually go through college when you first started.
Nice. That's cool. You feel like you missed out?
Oh, very much. I could
Yeah.
have been like retiring in a year.
Oh, that's so
Or in a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah, I was gonna say you're not that old. Fucking A.
Well,
But
like the
no.
20-year thing first.
Yeah. No, of course. Second question is, what had to end in your life, good or bad, that led you to where you are today?
I think leaving my this is getting a little personal, but
Okay.
when I was about 15, 16 years ago, I left my family and went through a very bad marriage. So not the wife I've been talking about, obviously, this whole time. A very bad marriage, and then
What a turn that would have been.
you know, right? Wouldn't that be weird? Now I'm the best man ever. But going through all that definitely helped me grow because I was basically broken down and had to build myself back up over the last few years. And I've never been happier. I have a family. I have my family back that I left. I got my book came out. So everything that I went through led to this kind of point of like I'm content and happy, which
Beautiful,
is
dude.
something I haven't really been through.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy for you, man.
So,
I mean, that's great, man. It's good to see you come out on the other side of that thing. Last question has to do with the show. If this was a genuine dystopia, more so than it is now, when you woke up tomorrow, it's a 2-parter, found out there was 24 hours left for everybody to live, what do you think would be the cause? You get to choose. So you could go realistic, comet, climate change, political collapse, or alien, zombies, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to be your epic death? How you going out?
My epic death, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could have an epic death.
You can. It's a fantasy. Go for it.
All right. Then I'll make up a good one for that. All right. So I think it's definitely going to be something political that's going to bring us down probably within a week or two. My epic death.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd go down in a blaze of glory taking out political people.
Oh, nice. I like how you almost said names and you're like, I don't want to get arrested. But that's great. No, that's fantastic. I think that's a great way to go.
Playing Bon Jovi's, shot down in a blaze of glory.
Fuck yes. Good
blasting
jersey,
that.
right?
Maybe a boombox in one hand, a nice.
Yeah, good jersey and a boombox. You're going old school.
Yeah, but I know I'm going 80s, man.
Yeah, that's great. That's the only way to go out. This whole thing is 80s themed, basically. Anyway, so that's awesome, dude. I love you. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this, man. It's a blast.
Thank you.
Getting to talk to you and seeing you fucking have all this success with the book and stuff, man. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the second one too.
Yeah, I have to edit it still, but the other project kind of got in the way, so I'm kind of trying to do both. But yeah, I'm really excited.
It's good to be busy
because, again, it'll be a trilogy when it's all done. So
fuck yeah, man. And then the fucking movie deal or TV deal or whatever you got going on, and then you cast your buddy as somebody. I don't know who. Whatever you want. I can't, I'm no Errol Flynn, but I'm not ringing a bell tower somewhere either. So, put me, get
number one.
And we still had that cool idea with Chris, who I feel like, I think that was I don't know if we all 3 of us dropped off the face of the earth, but we gotta,
yeah, we should definitely think into that.
Definitely pick that back up, and run with it like crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking sick.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, man. All right, cool, dude. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, thanks. Bye,
Peace.
John.
Dystopia tonight.